You ever watch a trailer and feel like something's off? Not wrong, not random, just too perfect to be accidental. That's exactly what happened when I watched the new Gen VZ Season 2, Episode 5 trailer. I swear it's hiding something huge. Something that could change the boys' universe forever. At first, it looked normal. Chaos, screams, blood, that's Gen V for you. But the more I watched it, the more I realized this isn't just another episode preview. It's a warning. A coded message disguised as a trailer. Because tell me this, why does Marie's blood turn black again? Why is Jordan missing from every single group shot? And why, for the love of Vought, is Dean Shetty's name erased from the Godolkin memorial wall? You don't just, accidentally, remove a character's name from a wall. That's deliberate. That's narrative manipulation. I watched this trailer 10 times, frame by frame, and there's one blink, you'll miss a shot that no one's talking about. At exactly 0:43, Kate's eyes flicker red. Not glowing, not reflecting, flickering. Like something is trying to break through. Now, we've seen Compound V corrupt minds before. We've seen powers twist people into monsters. But what if this isn't just about corruption anymore? What if Episode 5 is where the virus mutates, not biologically, but psychologically? And here's the crazy part. The trailer isn't hiding it. It's showing us. Just in ways most people miss. It's almost like the editors wanted you to catch it. Like they're daring you to notice. Either they're trolling us or Amazon just spoiled the darkest twist in the boys' universe, right in front of our faces. And the worst part, nobody's noticed yet. Think about it. Every time Gen V drops a trailer, it foreshadows something massive. Season 1 teased the woods before anyone even knew what it was. But this time, the clues are bolder, bloodier, and downright apocalyptic. There's this one shot of Marie standing in the rain drenched in blood. And if you pause at the right frame, the blood isn't red. It's darker. Thicker, almost metallic. And guess what? That's not aesthetic. That's symbolism. Because remember when Shetty said in Season 1 that the cure was never meant to heal. It was meant to evolve. That line wasn't random. It was foreshadowing. And now in Episode 5, that evolution might finally begin. So, yeah, you might think this is just another trailer breakdown, but I'm telling you, this one's different. This trailer is a chessboard, and every shot is a move toward the checkmate of the entire Vought storyline. But before we go deeper, let me ask you something. Did you feel it too? That strange, almost hypnotic energy the trailer had. The sound design, the pacing, even the color grading, it's not Gen V's usual style. It's darker, more clinical. Almost like we're being shown a memory, not reality. And that's when it hit me. What if Episode 5 doesn't take place in the real world at all? What if the entire trailer, everything we saw, is inside Marie's mind? I know, sounds insane, but hear me out. Every single major frame features a distortion, like a lens crack or a light flicker or a slow motion tear effect. These aren't editing flares. They're visual cues, psychological ones. It's like the show is preparing us for a twist where memory and reality blur. A place where no one can trust what they see. You remember the woods, right? The secret underground lab experimenting on students. Well, what if that project never stopped? What if it evolved into something far more sinister? Something that doesn't just experiment on their bodies, but their minds. And here's the forbidden clue. In one frame, behind Emma's shoulder, there's a logo. Barely visible. A small circle with a red V slashed across it. That's not Godolkin branding. That's Vought's symbol for Project V-Rex, an experimental mutation program scrapped decades ago. So how is it back? Why now? And who reactivated it? It all points to one person. Yeah. The same Kate who nearly killed Marie in Season 1's finale. The same Kate who everyone forgave way too easily. But look at her expression in this trailer. It's guilt, mixed with control. She's not just struggling with her powers, she's mastering them. And that's terrifying. If you rewatch the scene where her eyes flicker, you'll notice something else. There's a reflection in her pupils, a lab light. Meaning she's underground, not outside, not in Godolkin, she's in the woods. Again. So here's my theory. Episode 5 doesn't take place after Season 1. It takes place during it. Or at least in the fragmented mental timelines of the characters still trapped in the experiments. Because when you deal with memory manipulation, time stops making sense. And if that's true, then nothing we saw is real. Now, before we dig into the wildest hidden detail that literally changes how you see this entire trailer, if you're into these kinds of deep, early breakdowns before anyone else, hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you're going to want to be here when Episode 5 drops. Because things are about to get unhinged. Anyway, let's talk about the most chilling frame of all. There's this shot, quick, barely half a second long, of a syringe rolling across the floor. But if you brighten it up, you'll notice the liquid inside isn't blue. It's gray. Compound V has never been gray. Unless it's not Compound V. What if this is the rumored reverse V, the chemical designed to erase superpowers, the one Vought claimed they destroyed years ago? That single syringe could mean the end of Godolkin, because if it's real, it means Vought's creating weapons that can shut down supers permanently. And guess where they're testing it? Right here, at Godolkin University. Now you're starting to see it, right? The trailer isn't teasing an episode, it's teasing a collapse, a massacre, a reset. The point where Gen V stops being a college show and becomes something far, far darker. And here's the twist. They've been hinting at this since Season 1, Episode 2. When Marie first said, maybe we're not heroes. Maybe we're experiments. It wasn't just self-doubt, it was prophecy. Because now the experiment's fighting back. You think that was dark? Wait till you see what they're hiding next. Because the trailer for Gen V Season 2, Episode 5 didn't just tease chaos, it encoded it. And if you freeze frame it, right at the 1T43 mark, you'll notice something that almost no one has pointed out. A vial, not blue, not glowing, but gray. And in the world of the boys, gray means one thing, something's gone wrong. Now I know what you're thinking, Compound V has always been that electric neon blue. It's flashy, vibrant, dangerous. But this looks rotted. Like the serum itself is decaying or worse, evolving. So what is gray V? Fans online are calling it V, reversal. A formula so unstable, it doesn't grant power, it takes it away. But here's where it gets twisted. This wasn't made for civilians. It was made for the Supes, according to an old classified document seen for half a second in The Boys Season 3. Grace Mallory's file. It hinted that Vought once experimented with a neutralizing compound, a weapon capable of unmaking heroes. A formula buried right after Homelander's creation. And now that same shade of gray is sitting in a glass vial in the Gen V trailer. Coincidence? Not a chance. Because if that's V reversal, it means one terrifying thing. Vought has found a way to erase gods. Let that sink in. A compound not designed to heal but to erase existence. Think about it. Marie's blood turned black at the end of Season 1. What if that wasn't corruption? What if it was the first sign of her being rewritten? Cell by cell, memory by memory. They're not giving power anymore. They're deleting it. And that brings us to the emotional heart of this trailer. Marie's transformation isn't just about control. It's about identity. Her power to manipulate blood was always a metaphor for trauma. She bleeds so others can live, but now that blood's turning dark, like it's rejecting her own humanity. It's like watching the cure reject the patient. Kate manipulates minds. Marie manipulates life. Both believe they're helping, but both are creating monsters in the process. Two sides of the same wind. So ask yourself, what happens when the experiment becomes self-aware? When the weapon realizes it's being used? Maybe that's why every shot of Marie feels detached. The way she stares through people now, like she's half here, half somewhere else. Because what if Marie's not just alive? She's remembering something she wasn't supposed to. And that's where the trailer gets surgical with its clues. You probably missed these, but let's break them down one by one. At exactly Yotudin 27, the memorial scene, everyone's grieving, slow motion, music swelling. But behind Jordan there's a faint silhouette. Broad shoulders, the cape flare, a Homelander shape. Now, why would Vought insert that figure there? Blurred enough to deny, but visible enough to tease. It's a psychological trigger. They're reminding you that Gen V isn't a spin-off. It's a shadow of something bigger. Then comes the glitch. A quick, half-second flash of a security monitor, static distortion, and a single code flickers across the screen, G502. If that sounds familiar, that's because in Season 1, Emma mentioned Batch G501 as her class in the woods. So what's 502? The next experiment, the next generation. And that brings us to the reflection scene, the one no one's talking about. Emma looks into the lab mirror, but her reflection lags half a second behind. Almost like the reflection doesn't belong to her. That's not a cinematic mistake. That's a timeline fracture, which raises a terrifying possibility. Are we even watching one timeline anymore? Or has Gen V split into multiple mental realities, each rebooting after every memory wipe? Because think about it, Kate's eyes flicker differently now. It's not emotion, it's a glitch, like she's rebooting mid-thought. And if you connect the dots, gray serum, black blood, delayed reflections, it all leads to one forbidden truth. Vought isn't testing powers anymore. They're testing memories. Let that phrase echo for a second.